somehow, somewhere, in time's weird contradiction, I may tell of that dread deed, wherewith I brought to children of the moon freedom and vast salvation. I was a woman born, and trod the streaming street that ebbs and flows from Harlem's hills, through caves and canyons limbed in light, down to the twisting sea.
That night of nights, I stood alone, and at the end, until the sudden highway to the moon, golden in splendor, became too real to doubt. Dimly, I set foot upon the air. I fled, I flew through the thrills of light, with all about, above, below, the whirring of almighty wings.
I found a twilight land, where hardly hid the sun, since softly satin rays of red and brown to burn the iron soil and bathe the snow-white peaks in mighty splendor.
Black were the men, hard-haired and silent, slow, moving as shadows, bending with face of fear to earthward, and women there were none. Woman, woman, woman! I cried in mounting terror. Woman and child, and the cry sang back through heaven with the whirring of almighty wings.
Wings, wings, endless wings. Heaven and earth are wings. Wings that flutter, furl, and fold, always folding and unfolding, ever folding yet again. Wings veiling some vast and veiled face. Behind the folding and unfolding of almighty wings, behind the folding and unfolding, the rolling, unrolling of almighty wings.
I saw the black men huddle, fumed in fear, falling face downward. Vainly I clutched and clawed. Dumbly they cringed and cowered, moaning their mournful monotone. Oh freedom, oh freedom over me. Before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free.
It was angel music from the dead, and ever as they sang, some winged thing of wings, filling all heaven, folding and unfolding and folding yet again, tore out their blood and entrails, till I screamed in utter terror. And a silence came, a silence and the wailing of a babe. Then at last I saw in shame. I knew how these dumb, dark, and dusky things had given blood and life to fend the caves of underground, the great black caves of utter night, where earth lay full of mothers and their babes, little children sobbing in darkness, little children crying in silent pain,
Little mothers rocking and groping and struggling, digging and delving and groveling amid the dying dead and dead in life, and drip and dripping of warm, wet blood, far, far beneath the wings, the folding and unfolding of almighty wings. I bent with tears and pitying hands above these dusky, star-eyed children, crinkly-haired, with sweet, sad baby voices, pleading low for light and love and living. And I crooned,
Little children weeping there, God shall find your faces fair. According for your deep distress, he shall send his tenderness for the tripping of your feet. Make a mystic music sweet. In the darkness of your hair, light and laughter in the air. Little children weeping there, God shall find your faces fair.
I strode above the stricken, bleeding men. The rampart ranged against the skies and shouted, Up, I say, build and slay, fight face foremost, force away, unloose, unfetter, and unbind, be men and free. Dumbly they shrank.
Muttering they pointed toward that peak, then vastness vaster, where on a darkness brooded. Who shall look and live, they sighed, and I sensed the folding, unfolding of all my wings. Yet to build an iron, brick, and blood, we built a day, a year, 1,000 years, Blood was the mortar, blood and tears. And the thing of the wings, the wing enfolding wing of things.
Did furnish much bad mortar for that tower. Slow and ever slower rolls the towering task, and with it rolls the sun. Until at last, on one wild day, wind whirled, cloud swept and terrible, I stood beneath the burning shadow of the peak, beneath the whirring of almighty wings, while downward from my feet streamed the long line of dusky faces and the wail of little children sobbing under earth.
Alone, aloft, I saw through firmaments on high the drama of Almighty God with all its flaming suns and stars. Freedom, I cried. Freedom, cried heaven, earth, and stars in a voice near far. Amid the folding and unfolding of almighty wings answered, I am freedom. Who sees my face is free, his and he.
I dared not look. Downward I glanced on deep-bowed heads and closed eyes. Outward I gazed on flecked and flaming blue, but ever onward, upward flew. The sobbing of small voices, down, down, far down into the night. Slowly I lifted livid limbs aloft. Upward I strove, the face! Onward I reeled, the face!
To beauty wonderful as sudden death, or horror horrible as endless life. Up the blood-built way. Shadow go faster, terror come faster, up to the blazing blackness of one veiled face. An endless folding and unfolding, rolling and unrolling of almighty wings. The last step stood, the last dim cry of pain, fluttered across the stars, and then wings, triumphant wings, lifting and lowering, waxing and waning, swinging and swaying, twirling and whirling, whispering and screaming, streaming and gleaming, spreading and sweeping and shading and flaming. Wings, eternal wings.
Till the hot, red blood, fleeing flood, thundered through heaven in mine ears, while all across a purple sky, the last vast pinion trembled to unfold.
I rose upon the mountain of the moon. I felt a blazing